Man, I love that countdown music. I'm a mark for my own stuff. Anyways, it's me. It's Michael B. And welcome to another Monday night chill and chat with Michael B. Tonight, we've got some fun stuff to talk about. The last couple of weeks, I said there's no news. Well, guess what, guys? We got news. We have bunches of it coming from multiple companies. Some coming out just a couple hours ago that was pretty exciting. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. I'll probably end up doing a full video on it tomorrow. But of course, we've got some big changes for the ALP 4KP at the 11th hour. I mean, obviously, this thing is coming out the end of December, early January. AtGames says they're on schedule to get it done by the end of December, with some of these being in people's hands at the 11th hour. They've made some pretty substantial changes. They've heard the critical feedback from the fan base. And man, oh man, these changes are awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And of course, it's getting leaky all up in here. The leak for Alien versus Predator Arcade1Up came out late last week. I think it was Friday. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to say whether or not we think the leak is real. Spoiler alert. I think it might be. But does it really matter? Will this product ever see the light of day? Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for being here. We got an action-packed show tonight. I'm in a really good mood. I really need a haircut and a beard trim. But besides that, I'm in an awesome mood, and I'm excited to spend tonight with you guys. This is Chillin' Chat with Michael B. All right, guys, let's get going and say hello to a couple people here in the chat. I saw some comments way back when. Seems to be they're not on my restream, so if I missed them, I apologize. But we got my buddy Dan Z here, Dan in St. Louis. First message: hello, Michael B. I got to change the design. I'm a Halloween friendly guy, but my God, let's go to rounded away from how. There we go, Dan Z. That's much better, isn't it? Anyways, we got Dan Z. Dan in St. Louis, always good to see you, my man. JJ is here. While I personally am not all that interested in Alien versus Predator, I'm glad to see Arcade1Up release some new cabs for a change. That's right. It's hope. Dear God, it's hope. It's not the same old, same old. I'm actually really excited about this, and I'll tell you why in a little bit if I can remember. Paul Minderman's here. Paul, good to see you. Looking forward to this one. I think it's a real cab render. I just don't think it's what most people really want, even though we are hungry for anything new at this point. I've seen that comment too. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm happy for 19K Fox, but what the hell, man? We got Game Room Gurus here. Carlo, enough of the deluxes. We want XLs, a lot of them. Jason Little Aliens here. Jason made a comment 33 hours ago. Good to see you. Game Room Guru, I might have already mentioned you. Alfred Berger. Elio says, Deluxe sucks. We demand XL. We are the XL crew here at the Michael B. the Game Genie headquarters. I agree with you. Soul Red says, I only have space for one more cab in my arcade. I'm holding out for Smash TV or Robotron. More than likely, it's going to be Smash TV. Soul Red, I think you're in good shape. Alfred Berger's here. Sir Sega. Sir Sega says, hello, Michael B. in chat. I just turned on my Arcade1Up Tron and there's an update. Does anyone know what it does before I download? I'm not so sure. Apparently, I'm on this show called Arcade1 Update. It would be nice if we covered more of the updates on that show. So hopefully we do that in the future. Jason says, I heard the Tron update just fixed the attract mode for this Tron. It won't crash anymore. Not 100% on that. Jason, good job. Stock Jock's here. What's happening, Stock Jock? He says AVP's nice, but it's not on his list of must-haves. I think a lot of people feel that way. Gallagher guy, what's happening, brother? Who else we got here? Deadly McMahon. What up, Michael B. and gang? Nice to see you, Deadly McMahon. All right, going through. JR, what's up, JR? Nice to see you, brother. Am I missing anybody? Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Nice to see you, Bill. How's it going, my brother? 19K Fox. I'm just here for the mid-roll ads. He knows. He knows what it's all about. Sith Lord Lex is here. Christopher Camera. Conti. My man Conti. How's it going, brother? We've also got El Capitan. P-Dub's Arcade Loft. Is AVP real? Face orange biting nails. I wish I could see emoji. Oh, stupid fat hobbits here. Who else we got? Tonberry Master. I'm here for AVP. I still want AVP for the 32X. Yeah, they got it on the Atari Jaguar, but no 32X. Quentin's here. Quentin Benacenez. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Jason Mooch is here. P-Dub's Arcade Loft said you have to answer all our questions. I do, Jason Moocha. That's why I'm here for. I'm here to answer the questions. Conti says it's fake, fake, fake. Ah, interesting. Interesting indeed. Who else we got here? Thumper Squid, HDMI out on all Arcade1Ups. Yeah, honestly, man, if, not Numbskull, New Wave Toys replicates can have HDMI outs. There's really no excuse for Arcade1Up not to do it. It's just a smart move. HDMI out on all your cabs going forward. I would do it. Dragon Gamers here. Nice to see you. Jerry B. Trying to make MSU rich. Nice to see you, Rich. Vertigo Event Productions. Love the channel. Thank you very much. Biggie's here. Mobile Mutant. Area Man. What's up, Area Man? Area Man stops by for a visit. Danny Johnson's here. Who else we got? Oh, there we go. Ralph Reed's here, and that is everybody. So now that we've got everybody, it's time to rock and roll. So tonight, we got news. We don't have to come up with a topic to talk about. We can just talk about the news. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right, fellas? So let's get to the first one. And the first one is AtGames actually had some pretty exciting news today. So if you've watched most of us talking heads on the internet, the people that cover the AtGames product, and even the people that don't cover the AtGames product that just pop in to be critical, everybody was a little gun shy about the ALP when we saw it for the first time at the Chicago Expo. There was a lot of comments about, oh, the topper looks relatively plain. It's just a piece of product that goes up there, doesn't really do anything. We talked about the builder's plate and how it forced the coin door to the side. Well, AtGames actually heard that response and have seemingly made some changes at the 11th hour. So they put out a video today. Let me just get it up on screen and show you. I know most people have already seen this, but I want to, oh my God, turn that volume down. My, oh my. I just want to bring this up and share this video with you that they released on social media. So here it is here. So here's the new changes. We now have a light up topper, a new logo feature. So they took the AtGames Legends pinball out of here and put Adam's Family in. They have new speaker grill detail, which this was not something I heard people complaining about, but good call adding that. They've made the plain black on the front with the Legends pinball 4KP. And most importantly, they've centered the coin door and put the builder's plate on the coin door itself, which I think was an excellent move. Kudos to AtGames for listening to consumer feedback, showing you're a company that cares, and getting this done. So good job, man. I'm very, very, very happy with what they've done here. I'm very impressed. So I've got a poll up currently. Let me just take that down. I've got a poll up currently in the live chat. What do you guys think of the changes AtGames made to the ALP 4KP? 36% say awesome. 19% say they were good. 9% said not a big deal, and 37% for some reason said they don't care. I guess they weren't going to buy it anyways. But honestly, huge move from AtGames. Like, honestly, usually when a product is this late, it's too late. They're not going to do anything. I actually had an opportunity to talk to PK a little bit earlier, and some of the people from AtGames, I reached out to them and I said, really good job. It's cool that you guys did this at the 11th hour. And PK actually told me that the credits are not necessarily all AtGames on this, mainly go to Foxconn Structure Engineering Team. They saw some of the feedback that was coming through on Facebook. They're the people that are building the machines for AtGames, and they said, you know what? We can make these changes. And sure enough, without incurring any more additional cost to AtGames, they managed to, without losing material, they managed to make the changes, and these are really big. It's just a great job. So, kudos to them. kudos for AtGames getting this done at the 11th hour. And I'm sure most people who have the pre-order in already for your ALP 4KP feel pretty confident about these changes. I am really, really happy for the people that are seeing this and saying, wow, that's a better machine. I'm going to bring it up on screen again so you can get a better look at some of the pictures they put out. They've also got product images. I'll share more in the future. But here you can see the updated machine. There's the new coin door. I know P-Dubs just did a stream on this. Sorry for being repetitive, guys. But you can see the changes to the coin door. It is now perfectly centered. No builder's plate to the side. The builder's plate is actually on the device. Let me see if I can make this bigger. And then up here, we now have more Addams Family art, and the topper is going to light up. So really good job, AtGames. Look, there's the new speaker grill covers with the spider web. That's an above and beyond feature. I didn't really hear anybody complaining about the speaker grill, but they went above and beyond, and they've really made a nice looking machine here. I think people are going to be very happy with it. They also update. Well, that's what they updated. I wasn't sure originally, but yeah, I'm very, very impressed with this. Very impressed they were able to do this at the 11th hour. I know. I'm gushing about it. I can't believe they did it. Like, we talked about this. We were like, oh man, like the product's probably going to go out like this. And it's just so impressive to see these changes done. Like, I am very happy for the fans, happy for everybody that's excited for this machine. Anyways, I'll stop gushing over that now, guys. And we're going to get to the other main topic of the show. I'll do a more in detail video on this tomorrow, cover it much more exclusively for you. But I just wanted to talk about it tonight. Very excited. It's put me in a really good mood. Like, honestly, like I'm so excited for the AtGames Legends 4KP. I've got a lot of faith in what the product's going to be. The move with Zen coming over. I'm sure they're going to get their shit together and working by the time this goes out. I was a little bummed out seeing the machine initially. Like, some of these aesthetic changes were really taking some of the shine off what should be a really cool moment for AtGames. And seeing these changes makes me a happy Mike, and hopefully it makes you guys in the community happy as well. All right, so moving on, I want to talk about something else. Before we get into Arcade1Up, I do have one other thing I wanted to share with you guys. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a bit of a burger nut. I like my hamburgers, which I'm sure you guys already know. If you follow me on social media, you've seen the pictures, all my Johnny Amaze pictures and stuff like that. Well, there's a new burger challenge going on in Newfoundland, and it is bananas. I have actually competed in one of these before, and I almost died, but they took the one they used to do away. They've got a new one. Let me just show you this burger being built here now. So get a look at this. Look at that. Look at all those eggs, meat patties, bacon, all that shit going on there. Drizzled with queso cheese. That's the giant burger. So let me get out of this. Oh, now there's the picture full I wanted to do. I'll show you one more time the burger getting built. Look at this bad boy, man. Like, that's a heart attack on a plate right there. Oh, baby. That queso sauce, though, I bet you it's delicious. I've done this challenge before. Let me just get out of that and show you a picture of the finished burger. There's some of their food. They do some upscale Newfoundland food, but here's a picture of the burger. So you got a choice of all that, the burger, the fries, and everything. So there's about 3 pounds of meat in there. You've got either 2 Crown Anchor beers or a pint of soda you got to drink with it, and everything you see there on the plate. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing this. If you can finish it all in 45 minutes, it's free. If you can't, it's $65 plus tax. So I may tackle this one. If you give me a minute, I'm going to find a picture of the last burger I ate. But before we do that, we got a super chat here from Deadly McMahon Mike. $9.99 super chat. Yo, Michael B. Happy about the AtGames changes, with the exception of the backlash image. They zoomed in on the family mansion to hide the Addams Family logo instead of just removing the Addams Family logo. Oh, that's too bad, man. Sorry, had a little bit of a cough there. Thank you very much for the super chat, Deadly McMahon. I appreciate it, my brother. Really do. Hopefully, and let's see what you say there. They zoomed in on the family and mansion to hide the Addams Family logo instead of just removing the Addams Family logo. That's a bummer. I'll have to take a look at that and see if I notice the changes more. But thank you very much for the super chat. So I'll show you. I've done their burger challenge before, and it almost killed me. So I just want to see if I can get the picture brought up here. I gotta find it. I sent it out earlier. It's from a couple years ago, so a little hard to find. Oh yeah, here it is. So here is me doing their original burger challenge a couple years ago. It wasn't as tall, but it was just as big. These were two 3 ounce patties with piles of cheese. There were 6 eggs on them, so pretty much the same components, just in a big burger. And let me tell you right now, it was absolutely disgusting. By the 30-minute mark, I had about 60% of it gone. The meat was all cold. It was just hard to eat at that point, and my arteries were full on clogged up by the end of it. So, as much as I want to try this burger challenge, I also know it will literally kill me. But I've been watching a lot of this YouTuber, Beard Meats Food lately, and he's got me inspired to do these eating challenges, but it's definitely the road to my death. So I probably won't be doing that. Oh my good God. Thumper Squid says Katana eats kilos can do it. And you know what's crazy? I bet you she's really small too, because these really impressive eaters, those they call that burger the Widowmaker. I felt so terrible after I ate this. So terrible. So I swore I'd never do again. We'll have to see. Uh, the great outdoors. I don't know about that. Anyways, before I get yeah, Jason, love all the XLs. This is my XLs rows. I have actually downsized my entire Arcade1Up collection just to the XLs right now. So rocking the XLs. I love everything back there. I've got the screen mod done on both the NBA Jam and Golden Tee. The NBA Jam is perfect. However, I screwed up the Golden Tee 3D a little bit. You can notice there's some darkness on the screen. Some of the edge lighting went out. So I've got to replace the screen on that again. But otherwise, I'm rocking with 4 BOE monitors back there. All these games look and play fantastic. Love the form factor. However, I'm not saying I won't buy any more 3/4 scales ever again. We'll see what the Black Friday sales have to do, because I do miss playing some sweet, sweet Mortal Kombat. So I don't know. Right now, this is my Arcade1Up collection. But I've actually made some room recently. I'm moving some stuff out, selling some stuff off just to clear out my house, and also try to get my money together to buy the Stranger Things pinball. So I've actually got a little bit of space made downstairs. So I've got my AtGames Legends Ultimate and my AtGames Legends pinball put back in my storage room, which used to be my arcade, and I might have some room for some more. So we'll see what happens. But right now, this is my Arcade1Up collections, the big boys. All right, there was something else I wanted to show you guys, and before I get started on the main topic, but I may have got sidetracked. Shit. What was I going to show you? Damn it. Oh, I remember now. Just give me 1 second, guys. So today is actually funny. We were just talking about that. Today is actually Stranger Things Day. So I don't know if you guys have followed Stranger Things Day. It seems like every day is a holiday nowadays. So today is actually Stranger Things Day. So the big news about that, if I can find it, and if it actually shows. So with today being Stranger Things Day, I want to turn off the volume so I can show you this. Here's what's currently going on at the Stern warehouse. Stranger Things Day, property of Stern, Stranger Things. They're showing the Stranger Things machine on the production line. It's happening. Actually, some distributors already have their machines out saying now available. So everybody that's actually got the cash together already, you lucky dogs, your Stranger Things should be here soon. Celebrate Stranger Things with your Stranger Things Stern pinball. I am still working on it. I just listed my Transformers Walmart re-releases in boxes. I gotta list my 25th anniversary GI Joes. I got a lot of them, so I'm moving out a lot of these toys and collectibles and stuff. I've sold my PlayStation Vita collection today, so I keep moving stuff out. It all hinges on whether or not I can get that Dungeons and Dragons pinball sold. That's going to be the big thing. If that happens, I'll get Stranger Things. If not, Well, I just won't. I'll have to wait longer. So we'll have to see. All right, with all that out of the way, only 21 minutes in, we can now start tonight's main topic. That burger challenge reminds me of Homer Simpson when he was eating the giant sub. Duff Gardens, hurrah! That's what it felt like. Oh my God. So, guys, there was a leak this past week. You all know Big Reese. He put out a video where he's walking in the Australian outback and he shares some pictures that he got of a Capcom Alien vs. Predator Big Blue Arcade1Up cabinet, and he presented a games list. Now, these pictures and videos were super low quality. I'm going to see if I can actually get them up for you now. Yeah, Thor, maybe that's a good thing for me to do is I can actually maybe share the listings on my Facebook page and stuff like that. And if there's viewers who are interested, hey, feel free to jump in. If anybody wants a Dungeons & Dragons pinball machine, let me know. All right, guys. So I got distracted there for a second. Let me see if I can get those pictures up for you. That's what I wanted to do. And they're really uber small. So here's the picture. I put it on my thumbnail. We're going to have to large size this quite a bit. New for 2024. So here's the picture. It's super grainy, saying 30th anniversary of the game, 10 games included. That's the pitch list of the games. Officially licensed, 3D coin door, 3-player, 17-inch screen, light-up marquee. So this is the picture. What does everybody think? Do you think it's fake? Do you think it's real? We're going to update the question in the we're going to update the question in the poll here now. So I'm going to go back to the original question, the AtGames question, where we finish up with 41% of people saying awesome. And I agree as well. I think it's pretty awesome too. If you were planning on getting the AtGames Legends pinball or interested, nothing we saw today wasn't good news. So I'm going to end that poll. You guys are going to hear some clicky keyboards. But before you do, we're going to do a super chat here from Galaga Guy 88. Did you see Homer can't hug Bart's neck anymore? Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. There's a lot of stuff on The Simpsons that is taken as a moment in time. Like if you go back and you watch shows from before, certain things that were said that might have been and done that might have been okay in that era that maybe don't match today's era. A lot of people are saying it's woke, other stuff like that. I grew up watching The Simpsons, and Homer almost choked Bart. It's a weird move that you're in season 36, and then you're like, hey, maybe this choking thing's inappropriate. I don't know. It's just such a strange move, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really watch The Simpsons anymore. I grew up loving The Simpsons. There was nothing I loved more than The Simpsons. I remember going out with a girl, and she used to call me on the phone, and she'd be like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I'd be like, well, you got about 6 minutes because The Simpsons are coming on. She's like, it's a rerun from earlier. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't want to miss it, so I got to go. I love The Simpsons that much that I almost basically ended a relationship for it. But like, I haven't watched probably the last 7 years. I just kind of lost interest. I'm sure it's still a good show, but for me and The Simpsons, I go back to the golden age, watching seasons 4 through 11, and I'll watch those on repeat. That's the good stuff for me. I want to see Homer and his barbershop quartet. So I'll go back and watch those. I don't know what's going on with The Simpsons anymore. If Homer can't choke Bart anymore, Homer can't choke Bart anymore, it doesn't impact me because I'm not really watching. So thank you very much for the super chat, Galaga Guy. I really appreciate it. It's weird shit, man. It's weird, but I guess they're trying to change the character to meet today's views and expectations. So, yeesh. Anyways, oh yeah, JR. That I love on Disney Plus. They actually have it set up where you can watch all the Treehouse of Horrors. They have them listed which is fantastic for me because I don't really want to pick through the seasons and find them. However, the only shitty thing about it is you can't just leave it on repeat and go from House of Horror to House of Horror, because what it'll do, it'll actually jump to the next episode in the season. So I actually got to back out and go in. But this year I watched some of my favorite ones. I, of course, watched the one where Willie became like Freddy Krueger and was getting in people's dreams. I watched The Shinning, which is always a must. That whole episode is fantastic. I watched Can't Get Enough of My Sugar Crisp. Guess I forgot to put the fog lights in, when Marge and them ran over Flanders, but he was a werewolf anyways. And what was the other one? The one where the dolphins took over, where Lenny's like, drinking and night swimming. It's a winning combination. So I got to watch all the good ones. Love Treehouse of Horror. Yeah. No, you didn't derail the show at all, Gallagher guy. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I swore I would get to this at some point, but I haven't got to it yet. But where was it? I am I am off track here, guys. I'm sorry. Stop having fun, Gallagher guy. How did I get so off track? My God. Anyways, moving back to Alien versus Predator. So we saw the picture that I put up there a couple minutes ago, and I was going to do something. And oh yeah, I was going to update the poll question. So I'm also going to talk about 19K Fox's show last night because he mentioned something. So guys, new question going on. Do you think the Alien versus Predator leak is real? Simple yes or no. You tell me if you think it's real, and I will tell you why. So going back to this picture that went up, we talked a little bit about it on Super Game Room, dudes, but I'm going to give you my straight jam. There's a lot here to unpack and a lot of information out there already that leads to this being a real picture, that this is something Arcade1Up is planning. The fact that leak lists went out with the concepts that were still in play when John D was there is one, positive for this. Two, this is definitely a Arcade1Up render. I've seen similar marketing images that looked exactly like this for their Miss Pac-Man cab, the black Miss Pac-Man cab. So that looks like it could be the same thing. The artwork looks spot on to what they would do. It's the proper shape, 3-player control panel. I think this is a real image. I think that Arcade1Up really is planning to come out with an Alien versus Predator cab. JJ says, I think it's real because no one asked for it. That's not true. Leave 19K Fox alone. He asked for it. Fox says it's real. We believe in Fox. I believe in Fox too. Paul Minderman says, if it wasn't real, why would it cause problems for Arcade1Up? And there's the other very fascinating thing about this. So let me bring this down off screen because I want to do something else before we get into this. And that is talk about Big Reese, the guy who originally put up the video. So that video went up Friday morning, and a couple hours later, it was taken down. And the information we've heard is whoever Big Reese got it from might have got a message from Arcade1Up, and then they asked Big Reese to possibly take it down. Now, why would Arcade1Up go to the trouble of reaching out to whoever showed Big Reese this information in order for him to get taken down? I don't think he just took it down for the fun of it. He was just like, I've had my fun with my leak video. I'll take it down. Now, there's some other theories out there that maybe he took it down because someone told him it was fake. Nah, man, this is real. I think that this 100% is part of a marketing presentation that Arcade1Up did to potential retailers showing proposed cabs for 2024. That's my theory. 19K Fox, the truth is out there. And I wish that we didn't get hammered for putting shit out here, because I would show the X-Files clip now with Mulder saying, I want to believe. So, me personally, I think, yeah, this is real. 100%. So here's some other information. I want to go back and talk about my buddy Restalgia. Now, you guys all know Restalgia, right? Let me see if I can find this picture. I'm sorry, I should have been more prepared tonight. Just give me a minute. If you don't know my buddy Restalgia, allow me to present a visual aid. Just give me a minute. Come on, Mike, get your game together. You should be ready. Ready. Enough of this. Get prepared, bro. All right. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Restalgia, here is my buddy Restalgia. Just in case you've never seen him before, this is him in his most natural state. So, Restalgia this past week on Super Game Room Dudes brought up the fact of he's not surprised because we saw the 10 games, and I was like, I'm shocked that they could put non-alien games on this cab. And Restalgia said, I'm not surprised because there was this product called the Capcom Arcade Stick, and that had Alien versus Predator on it. So obviously, it's easy to license. Now, Restalgia, who's very confident, sometimes embarrassingly so, I guess he thought he was the first person to discover that this was on the Capcom Arcade Stick. So he wouldn't have known this, obviously, but like myself, 19K Fox, we've asked this question before. We've asked this to Arcade1Up. We've presented this to John D when John D worked there. We're like, hey, if you did a Alien versus Predator cab, obviously you can put more Capcom games on it because it was already on the Capcom fighting stick. And John's answer to us at that time was it wasn't supposed to be on there. He said that that was a mistake. That's not something they would do anymore. And that was the answer I provided on Super Game Room Dudes. Anyways, Restalgia poo-pooed me and told me I had hand and foot disease or something like that. He was super confident about it. So anyways, my good friend Restalgia, I told him I would counter his point, and like he got really saucy about it. But let me just say this. So Restalgia's point is one of precedence. So there's precedent that Alien versus Predator would appear on a home arcade product with other titles that are Capcom based that are not Alien versus Predator rated. And you know what? That's fine. That was the precedent. But several things have changed since then. And the problem with a precedent is, yes, a precedent shows that you can do something, but a more current precedent outrules the previous precedent. That's the problem. You have to be completely up to date. So when this Capcom Home Arcade actually came out, even if the information we got through John was wrong, it was through a different ownership team at the time. Fox was still Fox. Since then, Fox has been purchased by Disney, so now it's Fox Disney. And the last collaboration we've seen between a Fox Disney license and Arcade1Up was The Simpsons, to which they were told, we're only going to have Simpsons licenses on this cab. So much so that Arcade1Up basically broke the bank trying to figure out how to put Simpsons bowling on this cab just so it would have multiple games. So the most current precedent from Fox Disney is with a IP holder, with an IP such as The Simpsons or a licensed IP such as Alien versus Predator, they wouldn't necessarily be open to having other titles on it. So Restalgia's point is 100% valid, but moving forward, there's more recent precedent to say, no, the information that we have, and the same question we asked John D back about the arcade Capcom stick, is they wouldn't be able to do that. So it's still a surprise. I love you, Restalgia. You made a very good point, a point we all made months and years ago. It's just maybe you're right, maybe I'm right. I don't really know. Yeah, there's an Aliens arcade game, there's an Aliens gun game. They're made by Sega, though. So we were questioning that. How can they do Alien versus Predator be a one game cab? Obviously, Arcade1Up pulled off some magic here, or there's a little bit more leeway with that license than maybe the Simpsons were, and they were able to get more games on it. So let's talk about, Alfred Berger knows Disney's not giving anything up. Yeah. So let's get nostalgia off the screen. My God, that's going to be burned into my eyes. So going back to this, it says 10 games, and let's talk about the games list that we're going to see on this arcade because it's very different. Um, I didn't mean to stare that, Michael Suna. I just meant to bring it up. No Polycade Senna talk here from me. Cool product. I'm excited for the people that are going to go pick it up, but that's not an arcade product I'm interested in. P-Dubs did a big thing on it last night. I know he's following up on it, so go check out P-Dubs' channel for information on the Polycade Senna. I don't know. These ads are atrocious, Michael B. Hey, I got pinball machines to get, man. Leave me alone. All right, so let's go to the 10 games. And if you want to see a very tiny picture, get ready for it because we're going to do that again. So I've got the games list here, and it is microscopic. So this is going to be really, 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 really weirdly small on the screen and blurred out. But here we go, guys. So here's the games list, and here's what I am excited about. I have said a bunch of times in my shows, it'd be nice if Arcade1Up could really do 2 of these Capcom cabs or 2 Capcom legacy cabs each year. You do a Street Fighter that has all your fighting games, like throw on your Street Fighter 2 versions, throw on your Darkstalkers trilogy, maybe throw on Street Fighter Third Strike, maybe throw on the Street Fighter Alpha series, but keep that to fighting games and then do a separate Capcom cab that was more around beat 'em ups and action games. And guess what? They did it here. That's what this cab is. So let's take a look at the 10 games. We got Alien versus Predator, Strider, Capcom Sports Clubs. It's a fun game. I don't know why they're determined to put that on cabs. Final Fight, Captain Commando, which is a blast. I love Final Fight, by the way. Pro Gear. I don't know much about Pro Gear. I think this was on the Yoga Flame and Street Fighter 2 Deluxe. Ghosts and Goblins, for the very first time, Ghouls and Ghosts is coming onto an Arcade1Up product. Armored Warriors and King of Dragons. Of course, I've heard the feedback. It'd be nice to see Knights of the Round. That would be an excellent choice for this one. They could probably pop off Capcom Sports Club, put on Knights of the Round. There's a bunch of stuff they could put on here. Maybe some 3-player games. Cadillac and Dinosaurs, which is another licensed property. People want to see that one out there. Mercs is a 3-player game, even though the screen orientation's wrong. So there's a bunch of different games they can put on it, but I am happy to see a Capcom arcade that isn't a Street Fighter. So good job on that. I always ask the question, what would be the title? What would be the title that they would have to do? I say, could it be a Final Fight cab? Could it be a Ghosts and Goblins cab? The answer was Alien versus Predator, surprisingly. So, interesting games list. Let's go back, check out the poll here now. I'll take down these pictures. According to the poll right now, do you think the Alien versus Predator leak is real? After 11 minutes and 81 votes, 69% say yes, 31% say I'm not believing it. Retro Lizard. Good to see you, Retro Lizard. So, Capcom Sports Club is just a mix of these fun sports games. It's on Big Blue. I think it's also on Yoga Flame and the Capcom Street Fighter 2 Deluxe. It's a fun game, so... but I don't know. I mean, it's like, Puzzle Fighter. A lot of people like Puzzle Fighter, but I would rather like other stuff on these cabs. So that's the games list. I don't think that's the final games list. I think that's the proposed game list. So I don't think, I think this ad is real, much like the 68 now. You ruined it. It was at 69. Why'd you ruin it, guys? 68 now. I think that the Alien versus Predator leak is real. I think it's real as well. Magic Sword cab I'd buy. Now that's an interesting one. Poor list, no Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I know, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs should be on it. What I would like to say is, I think I'm going to end the poll. We're back to 69. I'm going to end it before it gets ruined. So we're ending at 69, dude. So we're going to end it at 69, 90 votes. Do you think the Alien versus Predator leak is real? yes, I think that this image and those 10 games list were something that were provided to a retailer to look at and decide whether or not they were going to pick it up. I agree with this too, Jason. What is it? I had one of them on my Wii U, believe it or not. I think it's Chronicles of Mysteria, and I can't remember what the name of the other game is. Those Dungeons and Dragons games are fantastic. Capcom beat 'em up goodness right there. So yeah, I would love to have seen it on there. So anyways, guys, I think this was 100% real, but here's the question now. Just because this is real, this is something that's been presented to retailers, don't get your hopes up, because even though I think it's real, I think that we can all pretty much accept that this is a real product that Arcade1Up was trying to present to retailers. There is no guarantee this cabinet will ever see the light of day. That's the sad thing. Even though we got this leak right now, and it's excited to be seeing a leak, I mean, it's hope for the future, a new game, and Arcade1Up doing a Capcom cab that's not Street Fighter. Those are all good things, right? But the problem is, it's at the stage right now where it's just being shown to retailers. This is not a cab that's in production. It's not a cab that's coming out to stores. This is a cab that's being presented to retailers on whether or not they're going to buy it. So there's a couple problems with that. One, it all depends right now on if there's enough retailer interest, and that sucks, but it's the reality. I'll go back and I'll do another example. So you all remember we saw that Double Dragon 2 prototype that was leaked from the Arcade1Up store. I actually found out a couple months before that. I was talking to a retailer here in Canada, and they said Arcade1Up showed us a Double Dragon cab. And I said, don't tell me anything else, I don't want to know. But she did say that Arcade1Up advertised a Double Dragon cab. Then we saw the prototype. So everything told me, hey, this looks like it's going to be real. Pixel Game Squad, so good to see you. I'm ready for another top 10 NES games video. I should do that. I did one last year for my top 10 scary NES games for Halloween. It's been too long since I've done one. I will do one just for you, Aaron. So, I know I got to call you the other thing, but I'm going to still call you Aaron. So, Double Dragon 2 was set. It was done. Same as Track and Field. Track and Field was set and done. It was at this stage where a prototype was shown. It was being shopped around to retailers. But unfortunately, the retailers didn't want it. It didn't have the retailer support. So guess what, guys? It never ever saw the light of day. So even though I think 100% this is something that's being proposed that Arcade1Up is looking at doing, this is possibly an announcement for CES 2024 or whenever Arcade1Up does their first ring of announcements. It really doesn't matter unless the retailers say, we want this. This is something we're positive, confident will sell. So that's the problem with Arcade1Up. Let's see this. Chaotic BPR says, we talked about it, Mike. Don't do a top 10 N64 games. You and Justin had trouble naming 10. No, Justin put me on the spot and said name 10. I have done lots of top 10 N64 games. I did one, top 10 N64 games you won't see on the N64 Classic. It's since been proven wrong because a lot of it was like, oh, Microsoft owns the rights. Now, all of a sudden, we got Banjo-Kazooie and GoldenEye both on the Nintendo Switch Online store, so anything can happen. Like, obviously, I'm going to do some research, man. I'm going to do some thinking before I would do a top 10 N64 games list. Don't ask me on the cuff on a show. Oh, Evil Genius Entertainment's here. Good to see you, my man. What's happening? Always nice to see you. So, not for me. Space dictates, and my other cabinets are priority over this. So, it all depends on whether or not retailer will pick it up. So, if you're excited about this cab, I'm sorry. Unless it gets retail support and retailers get behind it, buy it, are willing to bring it out in their stores, this may never see the light of day, which means we'll probably get another Street Fighter Capcom cab because retailers seem pretty confident about that. All right, so that's where we are with that. But if it does come out, I brought up an interesting theory today because I don't think the games list is actually finalized. So let me just give me a minute here. I got to bring up YouTube again. I got to bring up my community poll because I put a post up on my community poll earlier that I want to talk about as well. So, my God, why is this so complicated? I wish everything was easier. Why is life not too easy? All right, so let me just bring this up. Post I put up earlier on my community tab. Show you guys. We're at 178 votes. If Alien versus Predator Arcade1Up is real and ever coming to retail, would you be okay with some vertical oriented games being on the cab, such as Commando or 1942, assuming a Capcom vertical screen cab isn't coming? And you know what's the magic number of the day, guys? 69 dudes. So after 178 votes, 69% of people. Vic, I said it was real. I'm not hating. What are you talking about? Look at there we go there. Hi, Michael B. Hope you're doing well. I'm ready to add a new cab to my arcade. It's been too long. I agree with you. It's been way too long. I got the Pac-Man XL. I'm like one of the only lucky Canadians to actually get my hands on it. Thankfully, Arcade1Up sent it out to me for review. Hopefully, this does come out in Canada at some point, but where it's a Costco exclusive right now, time will tell. Nooner says, mention 69 and I'm here now. That's what you got to do. If you mention 69 in the mirror 3 times, Nooner appears. So, say they were going to change the games list a lot. I know this is not what you were going to want to hear, but say that they were going to change the games list. What about if they put Commando on it? What about 1942? What about 1944? There's a couple other games. I know about 68. I owe you one, Chaotic. So there's some good comments here too that I wanted to read. So let me give me just a moment to bring this up. Bill brings up a comment. It's not even about vertical versus horizontal. The cab needs more games to take advantage of having a 3-player control deck. That's what a lot of people are fixated on. We're getting a very specific 3-player control deck for Alien versus Predator. And the reality is, like, a lot of us are frustrated with the 4-player cabs. Golden Axe is a really good example. There's only one game on that cab that needed a 4-player, 4 controllers for. And everybody said, would have been better if it was a 2-player cab. And we do want authenticity here, so it's great to see the 3-player deck. But it does take up a lot of space for those who are cramped. So if you are going to make a 3-player cab, it'd be nice to find some more 3-player cabs to go on it. Little Alien says keep it to correct aspect ratio, so he would prefer if there was no vertical games on the cab. But keep in mind, there's no other Capcom cab coming out. It's either going to be a Street Fighter or maybe this. So if you want these vertical games, this is your only option. Keep that in mind. I hope this is a reproduction render and they go with the 2-player deck. They could off the 3-player deck for sale separately. I would want a 2-player deck. A lot of people are going to say this. PD7 says this could give us 12 games now. Mercs on that 3-player cab would be great, but what's the point? Arcade1Up doesn't listen to fans. Maybe they do. Hopefully they see this and they hear the feedback. Me personally, of course I'm going to say no. I want the correct aspect ratio on the cab, but if it's the only way that you guys can get Commando on a cab, I don't know. That changes things a little bit. I do like playing Tubin on the MK2 Deluxe. Or not the Deluxe. I did like playing Tubin on my MK2 cab just because it's friggin' Tubin, right? No, it's a terrible idea, especially if they stick with the non-17-inch screen. Paul Minderman, XL only Paul. There we go. So, guys, that was just some feedback I wanted to provide. So there's a couple more options, too. Like this games list, I'll go back to it. Let me just bring it up. I would personally like to see some changes to it. I'll bring it up again. So me, personally, I think they're kind of stuck because if they do a secondary Capcom cab, they've got to have something that's really marketable. And honestly, maybe Alien versus Predator is the most marketable license that retailers would possibly look at and possibly be interested in, have some confidence that would sell. We already know Final Fight's a no-go. Captain Commando would be a no-go. Maybe Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts they could do. But here's where I would like it to change. I would like to see some of these games come off like Capcom Sports Club and then add in Knights of the Round, 1944 for sure. Man, I love the Loop Master. Put 1944 on there and find some more interesting games to go on there. I think people would also be more excited about this cab if they had kept the same game lineup for Big Blue, for Yoga Flame, and the Street Fighter 2 Deluxe, because we're getting some awesome games here that we never really got before, like Pro Gear, Armored Warriors. But people are saying, oh, I already have these on my Yoga Flame, or I already have them on my Street Fighter Deluxe. But yet, seeing how we lost some of the games off that Big Blue, because Big Blue had such a cool games list with the Darkstalker trilogy, with Saturday Night Slam Masters, all that stuff. I really like the idea of the two separate Capcom cabs, but make sure you're not double dipping on games between what you put on your Street Fighter cab and what you're going to put on your Alien versus Predator cab. So try to be as different as possible is the other thing I would like to suggest. I played tubing today on my LP. Everybody loves tubing. I would love to see a dedicated tubing cab, not because it makes any sense, just because I want to see them try to recreate that waterfall technique marquee from the 70s and 80s lamps that used to do the, fake motion stuff. Man, what a cool cab. Yeah, so I think that's what I'd like to see for the games list. Nooner says Mercs, Knights of the Round, and Warriors of Fate are all 3-player Capcom titles that should be on it. Sports Club doesn't fit, which means it'll stay because Paperboy, LOL. Yeah, it takes Sports Club the hell off it. Again, nice thumper. I would really like to focus on games that Warriors of Fate is a badass game. Totally agree. I don't even know Warriors of Fate. I'm going to have to look that up afterwards. So there's where we're to. The other question I want to ask, I'm going to get to in a second, comes from 19K Fox's show last night. And I found this interesting. So I will put up a new poll here. So seeing that we think the cab is real, say retailers are going to buy it. This was the question 19K Fox asked last night. And for the last couple minutes of the show, I really want to ask this question, because this is what surprised me that Fox was talking about last night. Not to say that there's anything wrong with what Fox was saying, but I do want to ask this question. And you can tell me. Also, let me know, do you care about the vertical and horizontal games? I mean, some of these titles are iconic. They're never going to make a vertical Capcom cab. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that games like 1942, Commando, Mercs, at least with 3-player controls, belong on this cab? Or should it be horizontal only? Let me know in the comments, guys. I would appreciate it. Oh, here we go. I'm excited for this. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. And there won't be an option for no, but you tell me. So, guys, last night, 19K Fox, his big poll question was, how much would you pay for the Alien versus Predator Arcade1Up Cab? So that's what I want to hear from you guys now. We got a big super chat here from my buddy, my moderator, Jason Little Alien. Street Fighter 2 XL 2024, Street Fighter Alpha XL 2025, Horizontal Legacy AVP 2024, Vertical Legacy 2025. Get loud. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat, Jason. I really appreciate it, brother. I knew, Paul, I know you were going to say that. There should be an option for none. I know, but there's the question I wanted to ask. You guys know where I stand on this. I think that the magic price point for Arcade1Up is $3.99. I think that's where they're going to have the most success. It becomes less of a real thought process on whether or not you can afford it, what you get for the value. $3.99 is the magic spot. The regular price seems to be $4.99, and then the regular price for the expensive cabs or the cabs with extras seems to be $5.99, but we've seen the price go above that. So I added in, here's your 4 options, and I want you to give me your feedback. Ooh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but I had a blur come up there. I don't know what that was, but I want to get your feedback. So, what would you be willing to pay for an Alien versus Predator cab? And these are US prices: $6.99, $5.99, $4.99, or $3.99. Hit me up with your thoughts in the chat below. So Nooner says, don't like to mix verts and horizontals, but they do it regardless. Wouldn't mind a 1940X Series cab. One thing I will say, vertical on the horizontal, for whatever reason, looks better than horizontal on the vertical. It is what it is. That doesn't justify what they do with the goddamn Atari cabs. Sorry for the people that don't like me using that term, but and here's my favorite comment of the night. $2.99 at Ollie's. Or Bill's Retro Gaming Show says, wait for another blowout like Big Blue at 150. Jason Alien says, if they do it $4.99, it would be fair. I'm concerned the license will be overpriced. That's possible. Another thing that I know Arcade1Up are dealing with is they were in a really good spot, leveraged spot to pay out higher prices a couple of years ago when they were in the midst of the pandemic and they were making those record sales. But I mean, none of the home arcade market is in the same space anymore. So when licensor comes back like Capcom and says, we want X amount of dollars, that's not realistic anymore because they're not going to move, they're not going to move that many units. So it's a little bit tough. And you mentioned a really good question there. Mint Mobile ad, Ryan Reynolds is dreamy. Boy, is he ever. I do love those Mint Mobile ads. The one with, what's his name? Rick Moranis. That was just priceless. Like, nobody's seen Rick Moranis for like 30 years. And he comes out of retirement to do a Mint Mobile ad. And then unfortunately gets punched in the face like 3 days later. So we've seen the last of Rick Moranis. But it was just so nice seeing him back. Like, it really broke my heart that they've done all these Ghostbuster reboots and we haven't got the joy of seeing Rick Moranis come back to it. So hopefully there is some more Rick Moranis in our life in the near future. Here's another comment I know not everybody's going to be happy with, but JJ does make a point. I know there's lots to talk about XLs, but I prefer the 3/4 with riser as they don't take up as much space and are easier to move. That said, the deluxe line should be 400 US or less. Fair point. Fair point. And that's the other thing. I like the XL cabs. That's my preference. But I'm also not stupid enough to think that that's all Arcade1Up should make. I've seen lots of comments. I made a comment last night on 19K Fox's show, XL or bust. And someone did come back and say, no, 100% no. I want, mini arcades. That's what I look forward to Arcade1Up. I love that form factor. I've got an arcade full of them. I don't want to restart. So, it would be nice to see both Deluxe and XL moving forward. I just wish there was more selection in XL. Like, I mean, think about it, guys. There was like 12 Arcade1Ups that came out last year and only one XL. So it would be nice if the numbers were a little bit more even. All right, as we're getting close to the end of the show, 30 seconds from the end, Chaotic BPR says, I really think TMNT is the next XL. That would make me very happy. I miss my TMNT cab. I really do. I like some big and 3/4. Me too, brother. Me too. So here we go. 17 seconds, and we're staring at 59 votes. 3% say $6.99 they'd be willing to pay. So that'd be top dollar Arcade1Up prices. $5.99. So around the price of the XL units this year, we've got 25% saying for Alien versus Predator, they'd be willing to pay that amount. 30% say $4.99, and 42%, the majority, say $3.99. That's where I'm to. I would love to see $3.99. PD7.99 super chat. One more pinball video. Man, I can't. I get too distracted when I play the pinball videos, and it was a fun joke, but I think it's ran its course. I appreciated PD7, and I hate letting people down because you got to give the people what they want. But I hope you understand. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm not doing them anymore. I'm just reading the super chats for the time being. I love everybody, and I love the support I got and the negativity I got for both of them, but I'm retiring the pinball money videos. Thank you very much, PD7. Sorry to let you down. I know I got to give the people what they want, and I didn't do it. I feel terrible now. All right, guys. So we've hit the 1 hour mark. We're at 64 votes. I'm going to end the poll. I know 19K Fox. I know. But I got to give the people what they want. Most people wanted me to end those videos. No, not Mikey 3 pins. Do it. All right, PD7. One last time for you, my man. One last time. That's for you. I will now only be doing it upon request. Or maybe not at all. Thank you very much for the super chat, PD7. I appreciate it, man. There you go. Anyways, guys, so that's the end of the poll. And we are staying at 43% say $3.99. They would be all over this cab. I think a lot of us would be much more advantageous to pick up these cabs at $3.99. We got a comment from Elio at $3.99. I just buy it for Arcade1Up being cool. 100%. Back when these were $3.99, we were all more receptive to doing that. You heard wind chimes, Kurt Mason, because my phone went off and my ring alarm because somebody went by the front door. So 43% say $3.99, 30% say $4.99, $5.99, only 23%. And if it was all the way up at $6.99, so we're getting close to the time crisis prices here, only 3% say they would buy it. So interesting feedback tonight. Decade Slippers, we got a $2 super chat. Pinball money, run that hill, baby. You guys are killing me. I'm trying not to play it. Do you want to see the same video or do you want to see a different video? You tell me. Oh, it's Stranger Things Day. Okay. You guys are killing me here. I'm going to play a different Stranger Things one. Thank you very much, Decade Slippers. I really was trying to retire it, guys. More pinball, please. It's Stranger Things Day. Spider-Man 2021. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. It is Stranger Things Day. Okay, now it really is retired, guys. 100% retired. Thank you very much. Oh my God. Guys. Deadly McMahon, 49 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. You got to give the people what they want. It is Stranger Things Day, after all. Thank you very much for the super chat, Deadly McMahon. We're going to be cluing up here in a second, guys, but I just did want to say I'm loving that Arcade's Anonymous bracelet. I haven't taken it off since I left Cleveland. This thing is awesome. I love the fact that it glows in the dark. Just Arcade's Anonymous for life. Retro Lizard 1999. Take your shirt off. Oh my, Retro Lizard, you're putting me on the spot here, man. I really don't want to take my shirt off, Retro Lizard. Why would you do that? You got to get me through my other site, Only Pins. Jason knows. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'll send you a private message with my shirt off. I don't know. Is that as good? Anyways, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. This has been a lot of fun. I think I'm out of my funk. I'm in a really good place again. I've had some really shitty stuff go on lately in my personal life. Like my mom's lost 2 of her sisters, 2 of my aunts died in the last 3 weeks. And, we've been struggling with my daughter and stuff. And yeah, just it's tough, and I was really letting like some of the people that were at me get to me, but that's done. Back to having fun. I've taken some time for myself, gotten a good place, and I'm back ready to have fun with you guys. Hopefully, you're ready to have fun with me. So, Alien versus Predator, big at games news. They've made some great improvements. News. We had news tonight. It was so fun to actually talk about things happening in the home arcade space instead of just the things that could happen. Everybody, have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out with me. This has been Chill and Chat with me, Michael B. Good night, everybody. Yes, the ad was for any Dark Realm Gaming. You're late. The cab is real. It's something Arcade1Up presented to retailers, but there's no guarantee it'll come out unless those retailers decide they want to buy it and pick it up. So there you go. Everybody, have a wonderful night. Oh my God, you didn't have to do that, man. Oh, Tonberry Master, $25 super chat. You really did not need to do that. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate the super chat. Guys, say thank you to Tonberry Master. That was awesome. Everybody, have a wonderful night. And we'll see you later on this week. I'm going to do a video tomorrow going more into detail about the changes with the LP 4KP. Really think that's awesome from AtGames. And let me bring it up again. Just I don't want to forget the name. Foxconn Structure Engineering, who are doing the build for the ALP 4KP for AtGames. Great job, guys. I think you're all awesome. And I think what they've done with the ALP 4KP is a really big deal. Everybody, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow for that video. And yeah, the rest of the week. See you guys. You really didn't think I wasn't going to take my shirt off. I mean, he asked me to take my shirt off. Of course I'm going to take it off. Have a good night, everybody.